Welcome everyone. If you're gearing up for your English pronunciation written exam, you are exactly where you need to be. Today's explainer is custom built for you. We're going to take some of that incredibly dense phonetic terminology from Unit 2 on vowels, and we're going to break it down into an easy-to-digest, highly visual guide. We'll lock down the exact definitions, the symbols, and the concepts you absolutely need to ace your test.
Okay, let's dive right into our syllabus. First up, we'll answer what a vowel actually is. Then, look at the 4 parameters used to describe them. After that, we'll categorize them into monophthongs, diphthongs, and triphthongs, and explore strong versus weak vowels. Finally, we'll tackle clipping and wrap the whole thing up with a quick exam quiz. All right, Section 1. What is a vowel? The physical mechanics of sound. Now, I want you to pay super close attention here, because you'll almost certainly need to reproduce this exact concept on a short answer question. Here's the mandatory definition you've got to commit to memory. A vowel is a speech sound produced with no obstruction of the airflow in the oral cavity and with vocal fold vibration. Basically, the articulators in your mouth are in what we call an open approximation. The air just flows completely freely right out of your mouth. And if you touch your throat right now, you'll actually feel your vocal folds vibrating. So definitely write that phrase down. No obstruction, vocal fold vibration. To really cement this in your brain, let's look at the contrast between vowels and consonants. Consonants involve some sort of obstruction, or at least a narrowing, of that airflow. Vowels? They don't. It's really that simple. Oh, and a quick warning here, especially for our Spanish speakers out there. English has way more vowel contrast than Spanish does, which honestly is just one of the reasons English spelling feels like a massive prank sometimes. So you really can't just rely on your native vowel sounds to get you through this exam. Moving on to Section 2, the 4 vowel parameters, the core tool set. Think of these parameters as your core tool set. It's literally the ultimate blueprint for every single English vowel out there. You describe a vowel by its tongue position, meaning is it at the front, center, or back of the mouth? Its tongue height. Is your tongue positioned close to the roof of the mouth, or is it open? Its lip posture. Are your lips rounded or unrounded? And finally, its duration. Is it a long sound or a short sound? Let's map out these abstract parameters to some tangible IPA symbols. For position, the E sound in C, which is written with that lowercase I and those 2 little triangles, well, that's a front vowel, but the U sound in food is a back vowel. When we look at height, both of those are closed vowels because your tongue is high up, but for a word like cat, your mouth is wide open, making it an open vowel. And finally, for lips, the E in C leaves your lips totally unrounded, while the U in food absolutely requires rounded lips. Section 3, mono, di, and triphthongs, categorizing vowels. So let's see how this all builds by focusing on how vowels change, or actually how they don't change within a single syllable. First up is the monophthong. This is a vowel with one stable quality throughout its entire duration. You basically start the sound and you hold it without shifting your mouth at all. English has 12 of these guys. And the biggest trap for Spanish-speaking students here is just trying to reduce these 12 unique, highly stable English sounds down to the nearest Spanish equivalent. You absolutely have to resist that urge. Let's look at a classic exam contrast, sheep versus ship. The long vowel in sheep isn't just held for a longer time than the short vowel in ship. Duration alone is just not enough to distinguish them. The actual quality of the vowel changes entirely. Like the physical position of your mouth completely shifts. It's sheep versus ship. Here's another super essential contrast for your exam, fool versus full. Take a look at the IPA symbol for fool. It's got those length marks, those 2 little triangles. It is a long, back, and rounded vowel. Now look at full. The symbol changes completely to that little horseshoe shape. It's short, but again, it's a completely different vowel quality. Try to really anchor these weird, alien-looking IPA symbols to these everyday words. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly why vowel quality is so incredibly vital. Cat versus cut. We have the open front vowel in cat compared to the short vowel in cut. Substituting a Spanish at vowel here will completely change the meaning of the word you're actually trying to say. And trust me, this is exactly the kind of thing the examiners are testing you on. Now, when a vowel does change its quality within the exact same syllable, we call that a diphthong. There are 2 main types you really need to know. First, closing diphthongs, which end in the I or sounds, like the vowel in my or go. Centering diphthongs, on the other hand, end in the schwa sound, like the vowel in near. They literally center themselves right in the middle of your mouth. Taking it one step further, we hit triphthongs. These are sounds with 3 distinct vocalic elements squeezed into a single syllable. We're talking about words like fire, player, royal, hour, and lower. Now, sure, in super fast connected speech, native speakers often simplify these. But on your written exam, recognizing this 3-part structure is a guaranteed point winner. Memorize those 5 structures for sure.
All right, Section 4, Strong versus Weak Vowels, the Rhythm of English. Now we're moving away from the specific vowels themselves and looking at the rhythm they create. And this brings us to the famous upside-down E, the schwa. This is, without a doubt, the single most important weak vowel in the English language. Strong vowels occur in stressed syllables, but weak vowels, like the schwa, pop up in unstressed syllables. Think of the very first syllable in about, or the last syllable in teacher. Understanding this weak reduction is the absolute key to mastering English rhythm, mostly because English unstressed syllables are frequently reduced to this exact lazy little sound. Section 5. Clipping and Other Phenomena, the Nuancing Climax. We're building to the climax of this explainer now, because these highly specific linguistic phenomena are prime targets for your exam. First, let's quickly run through 2 minor ones. Nasalization happens when a vowel is slightly influenced by a neighboring nasal consonant, like M, N, or NG. Just think of how the vowel in man sounds a bit nasal. Then we have voiceless vowels. This is a super specific context where a weak vowel actually loses its vocal fold vibration entirely because it follows an aspirated voiceless plosive. But hey, those are minor. Let's get to the main event. So, the crucial point you practically need to burn into your memory is prefortis clipping. It's the shortening of a vowel when it's followed by a fortis, which just means a voiceless consonant in the exact same syllable. Let me explain what that actually looks and sounds like in practice. Take the word bid, which ends in a voiced D, and compare it to bit, ending in a voiceless T. They use the exact same vowel symbol, the short I. But because the T in bit is voiceless, it triggers prefortis clipping. The vowel in bit is physically and audibly shorter than the vowel in bid. Bid versus bit. If you can explain this concept and drop an IPA example just like this one on the paper, you will absolutely crush the short answer section of your test. And finally, Section 6, the final exam quiz. Test your knowledge. Okay, I don't want you just passively listening anymore. I want you to actively recall this material. So here's your first question. Say it out loud right now if you can. What are the 4 parameters for describing English vowels? Think back to that core toolset we talked about earlier. Do you have them? They are tongue position, tongue height, lip posture, and duration. If you got those 4, you are in fantastic shape. And here's the final question to wrap up our explainer. What is prefortis clipping, and can you provide one IPA example? Come on, we literally just covered this. It's the shortening of a vowel before a voiceless consonant in the exact same syllable. And your example could be bit being shorter than bid, or maybe caught being shorter than cod. If you nailed that, you are officially prepared. But let me leave you with one final provocative thought as you head into your exam. If vowel duration alone is never enough to distinguish English contrasts, what happens to your listener if you only ever focus on how long you hold a sound rather than the shape of your mouth? Remember, master the quality and you master the test. Good luck out there.